And it is back to the Cowboys and Coffee podcast. D, welcome back to the studio, the office. This stinks.
Like all of us, you look around and who are Cowboy fans in the school, speechless.
You know, it's sad. It's the first week in November. The season's over. And there's not even hope. And that was before Dak's injury designation had come out. You know, Dak now is hurt, out for a month, and the Cowboys seem to be their training staff is not doing so good. Deron Bland was supposed to be, 6 weeks. It's been like 8 weeks. It's been like 12 weeks. Micah was supposed to be back by now. It's been extra time for Micah. Dak, they say, is 4 weeks. If they lose the next 4 games, it's not an easy schedule. They're 6.5 win underdogs as of now against the Eagles right now, who are going to... If I'm a betting man, I'll take the over on that game because I'm not betting on the Cowboys to keep it under a touchdown. They're going to put up against that defense, how despicable they are playing. They don't know what they're doing. It's the season's over. And so many Cowboys fans, there's just nothing there. There's nothing there.
There's no life, no inspiration, nothing there, no life at all. So let's start with Jerry. And here's the word for Jerry. And this is the word, the message for Jerry, is to repent. Now, repent means to bring a change of mind that brings a change of heart. He has to repent and get out of the way. Okay, for moving on to the next coach. Get out of the way. Stop controlling everything and stop having players run to you and cry to you. Let the coaches coach and get a coach that has some backbone. Now, the players like McCarthy. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. The results speak for itself for this year. Last year, listen, we're coming off the defeat in the playoff game. It's that same mojo's into this year. Defensive coordinator change. We're all pumped at the first game. Oh, yeah. And injury bug, this bug. It's Murphy's Law team. That's what it is now. It's not Jerry's team now. But Jerry has to repent, change of mind that brings a change of heart, and get out of the way and let people coach. And we can get into the coaching staff itself, the offensive line coach, some of the players, not as good as we think, blah, blah, blah.
Many Tekel Parson. Writing is on the wall. The days of your reign are numbered. They'll be brought to an end. You have been weighed in the scales and found wanting, and your kingdom will be divided. That is Mike McCarthy. His days are numbered. And it's Jerry's fault. Jerry had the gall to say they're going all in. Now, we have reports from inside, with inside knowledge, who said Dak was the one lobbying to get Zeke back. And they chose to go with Zeke over even making an offer to Derrick Henry.
And Barkley.
Correct.
Barkley won.
Both of them. And what double hurts is that Barkley ends up going to a division rival who's about to stomp you out this week. And Dak wanted his boy back. They wanted his boy back, and we were on. You listen to previous episodes. We're talking about there's no way they're bringing back Zeke. No way. And then they do, and we're like, okay, well, you use them in short yardage, you use them in the goal line, use them in the pass block, fine. There's no reason on this green earth why he should have led the team in rushes any game short of a cataclysmic event where every other running back had died. There's no reason. There's none.
Listen, you could have had Ray Charles and Stevie Wonders as a scouting Zeke. That's it. It's empty. The Eli went on. That's it. He had 10 miles to go, and that's it. That's his body. 10,000 yards or whatever he got close to it. He's had some tremendous years. No.
I'm really concerned because they said there's disciplinary issues. He hasn't been showing up to meetings. There's been a disconnect on what they said he was going to be versus what he is. What did they tell him he was going to be? Like, did they tell him he was going to be the bell cow, getting the ball 30 times a game at 3.5 yards per carry? Like, Rico Dowdle, who I don't think has great vision, actually has decent numbers when he touches the ball. And if he had more touches, they'd be a much more efficient offense. I'm not saying they'd be undefeated or they would be unbeatable, but they'd be much better. You know, you understand there are injuries across the board, offensively and defensively. Not having Cooks out there hurts. Not having, obviously, your star defensive players, not having Bland. Diggs is dinged up. Parsons, Lawrence, I get it. But there's no fight to this team. The defense doesn't know what they're doing. The offense is disgusting. It's putrid. And this team is boring to watch.
I've been watching football since we would do 1970 as a kid. As a fifth grader, sixth grader, I could look at, close my eyes, look at a team and figure it out even as a kid, right? So I've been around it. I'm not a professional scout. But this whole league is really bad.
Yeah.
I've never seen this year like this. The quarterbacking is a disaster among a league that you can't breathe on a receiver.
Even Patrick Mahomes has not played terribly well.
What is his 6-6? His touchdown and interception ratio 6-6, 7-6.
Yeah, with the time we're recording this, it hasn't quite been Monday Night Football yet, so we will update as necessary as it comes in the next hour. But he has 8 touchdowns so far this year, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 11 interceptions? No way. That's wild. 8 and 9, 8 touchdowns, 9 interceptions.
It's a complete mystery on what these numbers are among the quarterbacks. And it's across the league.
Well, listen, you want to
talk
talk
about Love, right? He's going backwards the last 3 games.
Yeah, has not played well. I mean, he is hit or miss. He's kill you or he will kill you. Your own team or the other team. It's one or the other.
Look at Winston from day one game to another.
It looks like the offense is moving under Jameis Winston. The next game, they can't get out of their own way against the Chargers. I mean, embarrassing performance in a very winnable year. The Cowboys, who said they were all in, have shown us everything but. These guys are terrorists running the organization. They've hijacked the organization. They've made it seem like it's everyone's fault but their own, and it's Jerry and Steven's fault. Could have gone out. You had the gall to say you're going all in. You didn't sign a legitimate running back. You see other franchises like the Chiefs where your star receiver goes down. They go out and trade for DeAndre Hopkins. They go out and trade for Josh Uche, another pass rusher for the Patriots. Mm-hmm. Maybe they do or don't get over the top for 3 in a row, but you can't say they didn't try. They've gone out of their way to do it, and they haven't given up a ton of draft capital either. Right, a 5th and a 6th, like, big deal. You would do that at the drop of a hat to give yourself a shot.
Henry lives in Dallas.
We've never even contacted him.
Henry lives there. You probably ran into him in the mall, driving by. You're like, oh, that's Henry's car. I don't get it.
If we're looking at both sides of the ball, Schottenheimer is not an offensive coordinator in the NFL. And we saw this with Russ at the end of his time in Seattle. We're seeing it now. They need an actual offensive coordinator or some type of offensive creativity. There's nothing there between McCarthy and Schottenheimer. There's no creativity whatsoever to put their players in position to succeed. Nothing.
Well, let me break this down for you. So how the ripple effect. You got a really questionable offensive line with no running game and 1 receiver. And from last year.
The offensive line coach
from last year. What happened from last year leading to this year? Questionable offensive line. The right tackle could be left tackle is a rookie. You know what I mean? So and then you have no legit running game from a running back. You have 1 receiver, and who's the second receiver? Went down. Nobody stepped up.
Jalen Tolbert.
What happened to the tight end? Where is he?
I mean, they're getting their numbers late in games. There's nothing there. So they're there.
I think listen, I break down guys. I look at the track record, the resume. I don't know this offensive line coach where he came from. Because we always talk about the offensive line coach, what their resume is.
Yeah. Mike Solari. Yeah. Not not doing it for me. And I'm just not impressed. The Cowboys look unprepared all the time.
Yeah.
And he was brought over, I think, with Schottenheimer. And that offensive line that they ran out there for years with Russ was awful. He was getting the snot beat out of him, and we can see the same thing here. It is time to clean house. Whether they fire McCarthy next week or the end of the year, his time is up. The jig is up, buddy. Like, you have to move on. Zimmer has to go. The defense looks totally unprepared out there. You have the play where you have 10 defenders on the field on third down. What do you want? Cornerbacks running into each other and receivers wide open for touchdown passes.
And I remember one of the episodes beginning of this year saying, was he the missing ingredient that maybe get enough? It
feels like Nolan running the defense again. That's what it feels like.
It feels like Nolan running defense. They're like looking at each other.
Dak has gotten a lot of heat, and rightfully so. He has not played well. We've talked about his mentality and whether or not he's the guy who can ever get you there. They say he's a leader, but in adversity, there's tough wins. They got a tough win against the Steelers. I don't know. He's on the sideline saying, this team sucks.
Well,
and they do.
Here's something that was brought up by Elderman. What's his name? The Patriots guy?
Edelman.
About Eli Manning deserves to be a Hall of Famer because he beat the Patriots. He's not a Hall of Famer because he beat the Patriots. That's an add-on to it. Rivers with the Chargers did everything for that team to win. Everything. Remember, limping toward knee?
Yeah, going out there playing.
Couldn't run, nothing. He Hall of Famer.
Dak, it feels like we're just watching Tony Romo all over again. A couple phenomenal years, and then he will get hurt, and the whole year is just a disaster and a waste of time. And that's where we're at. It's time to clean house. You have to fire the whole coaching staff and bring in someone new. You have to do whatever you can for Ben Johnson.
And Ben's not leaving.
Yeah, I think he's leaving.
Ben's not leaving.
It's time for a head coaching job. He's not going to stay as a coordinator.
The only way he would leave for Dallas. He didn't. They said he's not leaving. They say he's on the record saying he's not going to leave.
He's not going to stay offensive coordinator forever. You're going to take the head coaching job.
Well, listen. I told you I thought he's great with that team. There was something about the Lions. You kind of like, wow, that you wish Dallas was like that. I guess that's what basically.
Well, you also have to talk about roster construction, because the Lions did it right where they built the offensive line first. They got excellent running backs, fantastic tight end, good receivers, and a quarterback to get them the ball. They have weapons everywhere. Cowboys have a good track record, except in the second round. The second round picks, you might as well trade your second rounder every year because they just don't know what they're doing.
Just skip it. You just trade out.
You might as well trade for some other player. Trade your second round pick for a player every year.
Second round, and because the defensive tackle, the guy from Michigan,
Mozzie Smith.
Okay, let's put it on the record and say he sucks. All right. Hello.
Right. How many times we say, "Oh, he's improving, and
he sucks.
He doesn't even have a pressure. We've seen some noticeable misses and guys that could have picked instead, and even when they sink assets into the defensive line, it's Micah Parsons, it's Lawrence. That's a big miss, Mozzie Smith.
Yeah,
there's other guys on the table could have used.
It is a big miss,
and it's not easy. I want Ben Johnson as the head coach, and give me Robert Saleh or Dennis Allen as the defensive coordinator.
See, Dennis Allen's underrated as defensive coordinator. We know those coordinators. He's underrated. Yes, absolutely.
I think both of those guys, Saleh and Allen, they're not head coach material.
Right.
We've seen guys like this, Norv Turner, Wade Phillips, but they're excellent. In fact, great coordinators. I'll take either of those guys as D coordinator next year.
I'll take a jet guy right now.
In a second.
In
Robert Saleh as D coordinator. They tackle. They hit hard.
Oh boy.
Dennis Allen is physical. You're not running on that defense.
No. I totally agree with you. Dennis Allen, defensive coordinator. Absolutely.
So, I think we both agree Ben Johnson is who we want. What are your thoughts on Bill Belichick as next potential head coach? If it's not, we got to start talking about some options here. There's no internal options.
Oh, listen. If we can come up with $10 billion with Jerry sell the team, that's when we can hire Belichick.
You don't think they're going to hire Bill Belichick?
No.
Tell us why.
Why? Because we know why. We've been told why.
I think
not going to give up that power.
Fair.
Jerry's not going to give up the power.
So here's the thing: do I trust the front office drafting players?
Sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't trust Bill Belichick drafting players. I think they need to be more aggressive in free agency like they were previously and cut this whole, we just believe in our players. Like, if there's talented players in free agency, go sign them. The great thing about drafting players who are talented is when you do that, you buy yourself some time to sign them, and then you go spend the money. Dak was on his rookie deal, and they never took advantage of it by going and signing someone effective in free agency. And that's what you're supposed to do when you have a young, talented quarterback. Look what the Texans are trying to do. Look what these teams are trying to do. They're trying to acquire talent, even paying high-end talent, because that's your window. So I'm frustrated that they haven't gone out and done anything. We know Bill and Jerry are friends. Will Jerry give up enough power? He gave it up for Parcells.
Not really.
How so?
No, they still battled over stuff.
Of course. And they're one slip ball away from being deep in the playoffs.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That was a disaster. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But the issue, here's what I really think. I think that what they're going to do is they're going to flirt with Ben Johnson. They're going to talk with Bill, and it'll be all the talk of the radio for a week. And then they're going to end up signing Pete Carroll. And I don't dislike Pete Carroll. I don't see him as the guy, though.
He can't give me Pete Carroll. I'm going to be there Thanksgiving Day, and I can't think about Pete Carroll.
I think that's what they're going to settle on. It's going to tick me off because I don't think he is the guy.
He burned Sean Payton. Okay, he burned Sean Payton. He burned the guy. He was going to come there. Yep. Hmm? The whole organization. There's a lot of teams or organizations a disaster, but we're Cowboy fans. This is a bigger disaster. And let me tell you something. The Eagles will put up 50.
Oh, they're going to.
They'll put up 50.
I'm about to bet.
Yeah.
I'm about to bet 50. The farm on the Eagles on the over 6.5 this week. I might just use a parlay and just $5 parlay on the over on whatever the Eagles are getting right now, like rushing yards, passing yards, points scored, touchdown, whatever, on all of them, and just hit like a 15.
I don't see the Cowboys scoring a touchdown.
Right, without Dak?
I don't see him scoring a touchdown.
No, Cooper Rush can run it effectively. CD's hurt his shoulder. He's supposed to play. Here's the thing. Not only is Derrick Henry leading the league in yardage, you know who's like second in the NFL? Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard it is having a phenomenal year. He is actually second in yards after contact. So or Pollard is second in yards after contact. Mm-hmm. He's not second in yardage. He still has He's 10th with 622. Mm-hmm. And that's with nobody at quarterback.
Right.
And splitting carries.
Yeah.
With Tajay Spears. You didn't want to invest in the running back position. We all get that. We get that. But they went to the extreme and thought they could outsmart everybody else. And then decided to not even play their best running back. Rico Dowdle had a phenomenal game a couple games ago, 3 games ago, and then 2 weeks ago they gave him, 4 carries?
Well, the old saying goes, if you got 2 quarterbacks, you got no quarterbacks. If you got 4 running backs, you got no running backs.
Listen, unless you're the 2000 Ravens who had Priest, Holmes, and Jamal Lewis.
Yeah, that's it, 2 backs.
Sure. You had 2 borderline Hall of Fame running backs. Okay, fine. I get it. You know, you want to say David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Hey, fine, no problem.
The only way this changes is nobody shows up at the stadium.
Right. Jerry thinks everything's hunky-dory.
The son goes with his dad. You need to get the frick out of the way.
What are we?
Dad, you've been good part of the Cowboys many years. Don't even go to the stadium.
Jerry would have fired this Jerry years ago. Jerry Jones would have fired himself as owner years ago. And that's the only way about it. He would have fired him. It would have been unacceptable that Jerry Jones having this man here, because he's just not been good at all. There's nothing helpful. There's nothing he's not living up to any standard that he would have been. Standard is winning. And the Cowboys have another embarrassing year, and again it's October, and I feel this just like apathy for Cowboys fans now. Like, I was pissed for a week or two, and I'm just like, I didn't watch the game.
You walk into people who know us, who are Cowboy fans, and we're like this. We look at each other. We look. Nobody says, and we go, "Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Can you believe that?" So we need to tell everybody we're going to go live. We're going to go live.
We'll be going live soon.
Yeah, and then we're going to get some guests on.
Working on that too.
We're going to get guests on. We're going to get guests. We're going to get the best guest there is. Yeah.
Kamala.
No.
You'll see. We'll get some good guests on here because there's only so much we can talk about with the season's basically over. We're already looking at the drafts. The Cowboys currently have the 11th pick in the draft. And if they stay the next 4 weeks without Dak, you could very well be looking at a top 5 pick. And there's no reason to bring him back. None. Sit out. Suck.
You didn't know this crazy thing is? There's so many bad teams. Everybody's going to be losing.
Yep.
Everyone's going to be losing. Saints are going to be losing. Giants are going to be losing.
Yeah, the Giants have a rough schedule still.
But
I mean, look at it right now. Cowboys currently have the 11th pick. I think the Jets will continue to do better.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
Here's the order right now. New England.
Right.
Jacksonville. New Orleans.
Right.
Carolina.
Right.
Cleveland, who I think will be respectable. Las Vegas. The Giants. Miami, who should start to become more respectable.
Right, because they'll move on the top 10. We should move in the top 10.
Right. Tennessee.
Yeah.
The Jets at 10 and then the Cowboys at 11.
We should be at 8.
Yeah.
7 or 8.
7 or 8.
Yeah.
They'll be in range for Travis Hunter. They'll be in range
What's Hunter going to play?
See, I think he's a much better wide receiver than cornerback. I don't see him. He's a solid cornerback. He's not bad. But he's a much better receiver. So he's receiver, and you could throw him out there at cornerback. I don't think they really need him. I think the Cowboys should be accumulating assets. I think right now, if you can trade, Jordan Lewis and another pick to get a 4th rounder or get up there, we like Jordan Lewis. He's good in the slot, but it's time to start to sell. It's not time to add on. And you have these stupid idiots talking about trading Micah Parsons. They're not trading Micah Parsons. They're not doing that. If you know Jerry Jones, one thing he cares about is his stars. And Parsons, his hurt still very much just beginning his prime. And if you put him with the actual defensive coordinator, you'll see him continue to do what he has there. It's 40 sacks in his career.
Yeah.
So, he'll still come back and do his thing. They're not getting rid of him. Someone's like, trading to Baltimore for 2 firsts. I'm like, that's not even on the table.
No.
It's funny. You know who's absolutely cracked? Mike Tannenbaum. Mike Tannenbaum says the Lions should trade for Myles Garrett, and they should trade 3 first-round picks, a second-round pick this year, and Jahmyr Gibbs for Myles Garrett. Like, for a defensive end?
No.
I wouldn't even trade that for a quarterback.
No.
There's only 3 guys in the league who I would say, okay, you could even entertain that, right? You have Mahomes, you have Lamar Jackson, you have Josh Allen. Nobody else I'm even entertaining.
Yeah, the whole draft is messed up now. You can't. There's no Herschel Walker trades anymore.
Right. It's not. There's no value in that with the cap the way it is.
Even that is a disaster.
And really, the Cowboys need to, if they think they can't continue to do what they're doing with paying their elite players elite money and some other people, they need a better capologist. This guy who's in charge of it, he doesn't have a football background before. He's not done a great job. And they haven't been wise with signing their guys early enough. They haven't gone out of their way and gotten Dak. They haven't gone out of their way, gotten CD done early. They've waited to the very end, and it's cost them money up front. It's cost them money in the back end. They're doing the exact same thing with Micah Parsons. Parsons already had a deal on the table. It should be signed already.
This is what we used to say. I would say it all. 51-49, Jerry. This is what it's all the problem with the organization. Jerry has his hands in everything. You can't wipe your rear end without Jerry okaying it.
Color of the socks, whatever it is, it's all Jerry.
Now with the Roman Empire's collapse, Caesar is went off the deep end with all this.
You basically have Southern Joe Biden running the Cowboys.
Yeah, it's just
that's the reality of it. It's weekend at Bernie's at the Cowboys.
Yeah, and his face is out there with that microphone in front of it, and the sellouts. And I'm gonna go there and spend money on them until there's 60,000 in the stands. The son's gonna come and say, "Dad, we're gonna have to do something." I'll write the check out right now.
Listen,
$10 billion. I'll write it out. I'll write that check out right now.
You're going to Cowboys.
I'll be the owner. You be the general manager. Billy will be. What's Billy gonna be? I don't know. I don't know what Billy's gonna be.
He can iron their clothes.
Yeah, and Spencer can be the head custodian.
If that, he'll be assistant to the head custodian. Yeah. And you're like, people got to start.
Nothing against head custodians, by the way.
Listen, you got to start showing up to games with a bag on your head. You got to start showing up to games and try to embarrass Jerry.
You got to put something else.
You got to boo.
Yeah, that's true.
You have to make it absolutely uncomfortable.
That's when the NFL's really great.
It is. It is when you have a bag over your head.
Yeah, it's actually great.
We suck. Cowboys suck. Something like that to make it. Make it uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. Let it be known. It's embarrassing to be a Cowboys fan. I've got friends who haven't stopped. They've stopped even sending me text messages of the Cowboys losing because they know they suck. That's when you know it's bad.
And I think that's what Dak said on the sideline.
Yeah, he said we blanking suck.
Yeah. He blanking. Yeah.
We're talking about people don't even make fun of me for the Cowboys losing anymore.
And I know. Me too.
They don't even dog me anymore.
No, they don't even dog me anymore.
What else
we're going to lose 50-0 against the Eagles. We're not going to score a touchdown. And they're going to run up and they're going to jump up and down.
They got the tar beat out of them by a 49ers team that had everyone hurt.
Yeah, right.
Everybody was hurt.
No
McCaffrey, right?
Yeah.
No Debo. Or Ayuk, right?
Yeah.
Kittle's still banged up. Everybody was hurt. And they still blew them out of the water.
Yeah.
And the Ravens game and this last game, these are phony comebacks. We've seen it for years with the Cowboys. They're not in the game. They come back in with their score. They do an onside kick. The game's over. If you're relying on an onside kick, especially in this new format, game's over. You're not winning the game. Because even if they got it, they still have to go downfield and score again. How many times we've done that playoff games against the 49ers? They're within one score. They can come back. Nothing worth watching anymore. I tune into the game afterwards. I don't watch it live because I'm not watching that trash live and giving Jerry a rating. I'll watch it through something else later so that I can see it and talk about it here, but there's just nothing here. And Jerry has the gall to go on these radio shows and get questions that he doesn't like and piss and moan about it. Jerry, you're the clown that's put us in this situation.
And it sounds like Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Sounds like Joe Biden.
We have a clown in the...
Sounds like Joe Biden
at the Star, as much as we do run the White. Nobody's running the country from the White House. Joe Biden is gone. Might as well be Jimmy Carter at this point. And you know what's sad? The same thing about the Cowboys at the Star. There's just dead on your feet.
I'll have to get them $10 billion up. He'll sell it for $10 billion. We'll make a deal with him that we'll name the stadium after him, Jerry Jones Stadium.
And he's really sullied his reputation.
Yeah.
It was bad enough with him firing Landry.
People don't like him now.
People don't like him.
They used to not like him because there was a Cowboy owner. Now people don't like him.
There were a lot of old Cowboys fans because they got rid of Landry and brought in Jimmy.
Right. There were a few of those.
Switzer. I
got into them. Yeah.
But now the average Cowboys fan doesn't like Jerry.
Right.
You can't trust Jerry to do the right thing. You can't trust him to give you a straight answer. You can't trust him not to gaslight you as if this is someone else's problem. And you just can't believe in Jerry. Can't. And
then when we saw him, we had a little story next to him with the story about us. He listened to us. He listened to the story. But now it's changed. Now it's changed. Yeah. He's the old guy that you go and visit now, and he's just not there. Yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with him mentally. Obviously, that thank God. But I think he's full of himself. He's full of himself. Yeah.
The emperor's clothes.
Right.
You know, everybody says, "Oh,
right."
great
And
job,
the sons
Jerry.
are not willing. The other son.
Jerry Jones Jr.
Yeah.
Not
right.
But Steven, would you trust Steven? Steven was the one who was going to let DeMarcus Lawrence walk and until Jerry stepped in and got the job done.
Yeah.
So I can't trust that this ownership group's going to do anything to continue to put a winner on the field.
McClay is good.
McClay is there, sure,
McClay's
but the
good.
ownership, Jerry and Steven, you can't believe in them. There's nothing that they've done for us to believe in them. It's quite the opposite. Like you say, we don't have good history anymore. We just have a bunch of bad history. And we're not even the NFL's bridesmaid anymore.
Winning and making money. We're not winning, we're making money.
That's all Jerry cares
when
about.
you go to the Star in Frisco and pay for the tour, I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to go out.
We have all the sellouts. We've had more tours of the Star than we've ever had.
Yeah.
And that's all Jerry cares about. He don't care about winning anymore. He just cares about making money. And that will be his legacy, unfortunately. He's done a lot of good things for football. Television contracts, licensing rights, all these things, expansion, all this stuff. And his legacy with the Cowboys will be so little of those first 3 Super Bowls. And it will be much more.
That's a long time ago.
How many presidents ago?
That's a long. Wow. Go by president. That's a long time ago, Jack.
We've lived through a Biden presidency.
Yeah.
We've lived through Trump presidency, whether he wins. This is coming out the day of the election, so hopefully you can watch this and just relax. Or maybe be pissed off like we are. We've lived through 8 years of Obama, 8 years of Bush, a whole second Clinton term, and then into the first Clinton term.
Yeah. Wow.
Clinton and George H.W. Bush, last time the Cowboys won a Super Bowl. So there's nothing worth holding on for anymore. It's just embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
It's the end of the Roman Empire.
Yeah, this is it.
Roman Empire. That's it. Speaking of Rome, I am studying Italian. I'm going to get it down, and now if I remember some of the words now.
Yeah, you're going there soon.
Yeah, soon. Yeah.
All right, that's good. I'm going to Boston soon.
Well, you can. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that's
Boston,
not the same. Yeah.
What that means.
Great. It's as great as the Cowboys season.
Let's not forget that awesome World Series.
Oof.
Oh, I love it. I never realized how I fell in love with errors.
Listen, as miserable as it was,
it
has been being a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, that's it.
The absolute joy.
Thank you. You same that year.
Ooh, I could not have Jason Tatum and Aaron Judge win championships in the same year.
Right. I know, huh?
Miserable, but seeing Aaron Judge be part of the reason why the Yankees lost with the error in center field, the worst inning of baseball in the World Series history.
Yeah.
You have the bad throw to third base.
Yep.
You have Garrett Cole not covering first base. Yankees were worn out. They mentally were not, because they physically couldn't do it. They mentally couldn't do it. That's a mental lapse on Cole because he didn't run to first base. I think he's just tired. Yeah. He's just tired. And
he didn't make no attempt. He pointed.
And you know what's crazy is Rizzo doesn't run to first base. He always has his pitchers run to first base. That's common. And Michael Kay has talked about this. A lot of Yankees guys, he has it because he's a phenomenal defensive first baseman.
Yes.
And he always has the pitchers run to first base, so he gets them the ball right there, no problem.
Really?
So there's no miscommunication. Him watching him and staring at him, I've had a lot of people like, Rizzo still could have run and maybe made it close.
But no.
That's what they always do. Rizzo gets the ball and tosses it to the pitcher.
Oh,
I
like it.
You love it. You love to see it.
I love it even better. Oh,
you love it.
Sorry.
And Judge stunk.
What he bat 122 in the World Series? What's 122? Trying to think what.
His wife had a higher blood alcohol level when she got pulled over for DUI.
That's even better. He batted 122 the time. That's what it is. 20 minutes after 2. 20 minutes after 1. That's what he batted. 20 minutes after 1, that's what he batted. Yeah.
There you go. What about a long winter? You don't talk about long winter.
It's going to be a long winter.
Yeah, dog. Man, on top of all that, Juan Soto might leave the Yankees. I think he's going to be a Met. And then they're right back to square one they were last year.
Yeah.
Listen, Soto played well. Yeah. Stanton played well.
Yeah.
And they still couldn't get out of the gentleman's sweep.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And guess what? Next year, if they don't have Soto, Judge and Stanton are a year older.
Oh, yeah.
So is Garrett Cole, who's not young.
Yeah.
So, too bad, so sad.
Bad.
That's the bright side to our fall this year.
That's the bright side of our NFL. That's the bright side of our football season.
The best part of the Cowboys and Coffee podcast all year. There is nothing to hope for the Cowboys. It's just ride it out.
Zach Martin's gone.
Zach Martin's career's over. He's one of the best guards of all time.
And it's the only year he's never made the All-Pro. What an awesome guy he was. What an awesome guy, man. The coolest guy.
Yeah. Offensive line coach has been really bad. Yeah. Really bad. Yeah. Tyler Smith has not played terribly well. You know, there's stuff to just clean house, bring over some guys from the Lions organization and rebuild. If it's not Ben Johnson or Mike McCarthy, then Bill Belichick, I don't trust anybody else at the moment. You trust Pete Carroll? I don't even know who else. They're not bringing Brian Flores.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him.
They'll woo! You think he had it tough with the Dolphins owner? Yeah. He'll be fist fighting Jerry Jones.
Oh yeah.
Boy.
Yeah. What's their defensive rankings now?
The Cowboys?
No, Minnesota. Yeah. I don't think it's as high as people think it is.
They've had a rough go recently.
Yeah, have a rough go recently.
I'm trying to see.
Yeah, he's not a head coach.
Who else is up? Mike Vrabel might be the other name where I could see, okay, he puts a tough-nosed team out there.
Yeah, it's just... But
the problem is, who are they taking for an offensive coordinator?
Yeah,
you can see Vrabel.
Yeah. He let A.J. Brown go and not even know. Yeah, come on.
Well, that was a GM who was absolutely despicable.
Wow. That's one.
Absolutely despicable.
Yeah.
So there's going to have to be something. Can't be the same old. We just know McCarthy's being fired. McCarthy's a nice guy. They have played hard for him.
Yeah.
He had several very good seasons.
Oh, absolutely.
And here's the thing. When you get to the playoffs, you got to make the most of it, because if you don't, you're not guaranteed to get back.
Right.
They had a phenomenal regular season last year.
Yep.
You lose in the wild card, embarrassing fashion.
Yeah, they had a great season last year.
You think they're going to turn around and come back?
They were up there in rankings defensively in the playoff game. Nothing showed up. Not one thing showed up.
Embarrassing. Here we are again. Cowboys and Coffee podcast. Listen, part of Designated Report. You can find us on YouTube, iTunes, wherever you get your podcast, Spotify. We'll be back with more interviews soon. We'll be going live. We're going YouTube live soon. Yep. We're doing some of these things. You can find our clips. We'll start to put out week by week. And let us know what you think. Comment.
And I'm going to say it right now. We got a special guest coming down. It's going to be the best all these guys can't get. We're going to get the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Because we're going to do that.
We're working on it, baby.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So you can tell your guys on Designated Report.
There are guys in Designated Report, Jack.
There what?
There are guys in Designated
Report.
Are
guys. Yeah.
That's it. Anything else? We just found out not only that we're having another baby, we're having another boy. So 3 for 3 on boys. So we have rebuilt the interior of the offensive line for the future. We're doing
That's right.
We're doing our part.
Yeah.
Okay? What are you doing?
We got the center guard. Zion's at center. And Paulie's that right guard, pulling down like Nate Newton. Nate Newton.
And baby number 3, who's calls Baby Thor.
Yeah.
Baby Thor is on the way. We'll see.
He's gonna be that big blocking tight end. That's what he's gonna be.
Yeah. Until then.
He stayed in the league for 10 years of blocking tight ends.
Look at Dan Campbell.
Man. Yeah. Blocking tight end.
Parcells
everybody loved him.
Yeah, Parcells loved.
Yeah, everybody loved him. Yeah.
Here we go. Just us like all the other Cowboys. Listen, it's been a long one.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what misery does. You can't stop talking.
Yeah.
All right, you will find us. We will talk to you guys soon. Go Cowboys or something.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Have a great rest. You dedicating this to anybody?
Yeah, I'm going to dedicate this to all the teachers out there who go to work every day. I'm with part of them, a lot of them, some of them I should say. All these teachers in America, what they go through. Whatever that means, I dedicate the show to you.
Yeah, and here at the church, we have a nursery and a preschool, and we have some phenomenal ladies who work down there. We don't have any men at the moment, so I'm not dedicated to them, but to the ladies who work at Happy Time Nursery School, we appreciate you. This is for you too. That's it. That's about the only good thing from this show today. Yeah. All right, everybody. We'll catch you later. We're out.